Hey, it's Dan, and welcome back to Unified Gaming. Now, in this one, I want to go through and show you some of the changes to Cloak and how they actually work in PvP. Before we do so, I want to say a massive thank you to Ignite for helping test. It really helps and makes this much easier. Today, we're going to go through and test single target skills, AoE dots, single target dots, everything so you can see what would actually work or not. And just a quick disclaimer, some of the things are quite buggy, so what you would expect to work doesn't work, and likewise what you would think wouldn't work actually works. So we're just going to go along the ride and see what actually works. And if you get any questions, then do leave a comment down below. So we're going to start with probably the first one I've been asked loads, is Stampede. So Ignite can hear me, so I'm just going to ask him to spam some skills and we'll see what happens. Ready, Ignite? Okay, so he's cast it. I do take damage, but my health bar doesn't move. So you'll see that from testing earlier, it does look like some of these things do cause desyncs. So you ready? And again. So even though you cast it, I can just completely avoid it. And a lot of people ask about the AoE on the floor, so I can just literally like cloak through this. And it says miss. Could you cast something like Caltrops? So Caltrops, so it does damage, snares you. With Cloak, no damage, no snare, I can literally move at full speed. But if I go through Eruption snares me, but it does do damage. So it seems that some ground-based AoEs, particularly class-based ones or weapon skill ones, do seem to damage you, but the alliance ones don't. So that's something worth just noting. Could we try a dot? So something like Venomous Claw. So you can see I'm taking the dot damage. As I cloak it, I can completely avoid, just avoid all of it. So it's just saying miss, miss, miss. Cast Noxious Breath. So that does damage, as you can see on the initial hit. I'm going to cloak it this time. So when I'm in cloak, he's going to cast it and we'll see what happens. So it literally pulls me out of stealth, but it does no damage. Could you try Volatile Armor? You see that does damage when I'm nearby, but as we were saying earlier, you can literally go from full health to 0 health, so there are lots of bugs with this new system. As you literally saw, I had 20-odd thousand health and I died to one light attack just because of the desync. So although the dots aren't showing as going through, some things like Noxious Breath for example, I do think it is. So we'll try that again. So Stampede, I can avoid that. We'll try with the Noxious Breath. Still not. So that avoid it. So what we're going to do is, if Ignite hits me with Noxious Breath and the Claw, do both. And what I'll do is I'll get low health, and again, and do it. Wait there. There. I'm now going to cloak and just see if I die from the dot damage. So you can see that I should be dead by now because my health was so low the dots would have killed me. So we can confirm that the dots are in fact being suppressed by the cloak. But what about the AoE from Noxious Breath? So if you do it again, now cast it again, and again. Yeah, so what you can see there is the AoE on Noxious Breath, although it says miss, is actually damaging me and it's desyncing my health bar constantly. So that's what's causing that there. I suspect it's the same with Volatile Armor, so we'll quickly test that. And this is what I'm saying about it's not what you expect because the game isn't telling you what it should be doing. So we'll get low health. So if you hit me with a few dots or get me to about 5k health, then I'm just going to sit in cloak. And all I want you to do is spam Volatile Armor as I get low. Okay, so Volatile Armor, and again. And again. Yeah. So same thing. The Volatile Armor, it pulls me out of stealth, but it's not doing the damage this time. So I don't think things like Volatile Armor damages you in the same way that Noxious Breath does, because Noxious Breath has a single target damage, like initial hit on it, whereas Volatile Armor is just all dot damage. So I think that's the difference there. So do you have Draw Essence? So that should pull me out of stealth. That's my thinking. So if you cast it, I'll sit next to you, okay? So do it again. So as you can see, it pulled me out of stealth. Try again. Pulled me out of stealth. So the initial hit will pull me out of stealth, but not the explosion. So again, it doesn't work how you'd expect. Let's try something like rapid strikes. So that's a channel, single target channel. Ready? Okay. Is that still the channel one? Or was that the dot? Alright, cast that and see if I can avoid it. Yeah, so you can avoid part of it, and it's easy to show with chains. So if you cast chains, see, you just completely avoid it. Or try with chains once more. So yeah, if you time cloak right, you can avoid chains completely. He's casted Flame of Oblivion, which you'll see will damage me automatically when I'm nearby. But does it track me in stealth? So cast it again. So the answer is no. And I think the last thing I think people are probably curious would be, what about ultimates? Things like leap, for example. So do you have your leap ready? Now I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, and when I get 0, he's in the fire, and we'll see what happens. So in 3... Oh, can you stun me first with chains? And then do it. Okay, so ready in 3, 2, 1, and go. Oh, not quite. Stun me with chains first. So I'm positive that the CC immunity avoids the leap damage. Ready? So 3, 2, 1, go. Oh no, it didn't that time. So it does hit you still, but you can stay in cloak. So you will see sometimes leap will pull you out of stealth if it stuns you, but if it doesn't stun you, you stay in stealth. So there, although it hit me, I was still invisible. And that's true for things like Templar, where they use top and charge, that if you can be CC'd and stunned, you will be pulled out of stealth, but if you can't, they'll hit you, you take damage, but you're still in stealth. So there's lots of nuances with this, and it is a very, very buggy, but that kind of covers the main skills. We've gone through a AoE ability like Volatile Armor, we've gone through AoE dots such as Caltrops and the Heart 1 Ash Cloud. We've also tried Noxious Breath, so that's an AoE dot that you can also use with an initial hit. We've also tried single target skills like Blood Craze and also the DK Chains. We've tried a Teleport and Gap Close and Pull ability, so Chains for example, and Stampede. So I think all in all we've kind of covered most of the skills and how they work. And my general takeaway is that Cloak is significantly stronger than it was last match. That it is pretty much a I don't want to die button if you use it correctly. But I'd like to know what you think. So leave a comment down below. And if you have any questions, as I said, about the testing process or what was tested or not, there's obviously other classes that have been explored, then do leave a comment. But I will wrap this video up here. So I'm going to say a big thanks to Ignite once more for helping test. And thanks to each and every one of you who's watched this long. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. And bye.